Those of us who have access to the internet may say they're borderline addicts to the media. With all of the technologies we have today in 2019, it is hard not to stay connected on at least one platform. Today I'm going to discuss media dependency theory, a theory that was proposed by Sandra Ball-Rodich and Melville Defer in 1976. This is an expansion from uses and gratification theory. Media dependency theory is a link between the audience, the media, and the large social system. This is the meaning that the audience learns real-life experiences through the media that they absorb. For example, if I watch a show on TV, I might use that as an example in real life and say, oh, I saw this on so-and-so. Even though I didn't experience it in my own life, I watched it and I'm using it in real life. The need for entertainment and human interaction has changed since the internet has came about. According to Hugh Liu Hung, author of Sensation Seeking, Internet Dependency, and Online Interpersonal Deception, some applications hide our identities. A lot of millennials, including myself, retrieve news through online sources rather than broadcast news. Broadcast news is not face-to-face, but it is as close to someone physically sharing information with someone else. Hung observed 707 college students to look at internet dependency. Questions were ranked from 1 to 5, 5 being strongly agree, 1 being strongly disagree. Questions were asked like, I would rather spend time on the internet than someplace else. A lot of students said that they would rather spend time on the internet than someplace else. This means that high internet dependents are more likely than low internet dependents to engage in interpersonal deception. This means that the high internet dependents are more likely to engage in fake news articles, distributing false information about a well-known company, or simply damaging someone's reputation. I thought that this showed a good parallel with dependency because it is easy to trust the internet and the people and the sources on there. Sometimes we don't do a very good job of checking our sources or the people who put out things on the internet, and it is easy to be deceived. Media dependency theory is the relationship reflecting how individuals' goals are upon the resources that media affords. As mentioned before, uses and gratification theory ties in with this theory because they both ask the question, what did people do with the media? Uses and gratification theory is more of a focus on why individuals access certain mediums to achieve their goals. According to Sun, Rubin, and Haridakis, the formation of individuals' media dependency is determined by psychological factors. Each person has different needs, which ties into why they use the internet and media differently. Global dependency also ties into this because it comes from media dependency. Global dependency means when one country is dependent on another. This can create global interdependence. It can be argued that media dependency is operationally distinct from traditional concepts and uses and gratification theory. The internet draws people to information. The more familiar we are with information, the less media dependent we are to become. According to Shapiro and Chock, a person is less likely to be media dependent when presented with information about a familiar topic rather than unfamiliar ones, because the person lacks experience with the unfamiliar. A study done to prove this point, half of the participants were given articles. Half were told about an unfamiliar African country. Others were told the articles were about a familiar European country. Those that read the article that were told that it was about an unfamiliar African country had a greater influence and were more interested to read because it was new information. The familiar participants that were told it was about a familiar European country assumed they already knew the information that was being presented to them and were less interested to read it. To conclude, media dependency comes in many different forms. We see it every day and don't even realize it. As humans, we have been dependent on the media since the printing press, and it's in our nature to want to be in the know of things. It is now used for entertainment and not just for information. There's so many things we use the media for. And it's best to keep an open mind with our needs and our feelings when it comes to being dependent on the media. Thank you.